Court is now in session.
He caught Jimmy with his hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah.
I also love the little tail that was sticking out the
I'm
bottom.
almost plugged in. Hold up.
He can't hear us now. We should have said a whole bunch of stuff about him.
We're back.
He's back. Oh,
He's
well,
back.
Good to have you back.
Yeah.
Hey,
Great to be on the podcast this week, boys. Welcome to my wardrobe.
Can we hear you gabble? Will it work properly this week?
Nah.
No.
Your babble is so bad.
It's so loud where I am.
Well, there we go.
No.
Hello. It works just after you talk.
Yeah. Also, sorry, that just reminded me. I got really exciting news. My wife listened to the podcast for the very first time this week. So
Wow.
Look out.
Yes. Finally.
Did she log in and find that it wasn't there?
What?
Did she log in first thing Thursday morning and realize that it wasn't there?
Yeah, she did log in first thing Thursday morning and realized it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Because Will forgot to send it to me. But she also said that it was really annoying, James, that every time you wanted to hit your gavel, you had to make random noises. She said it was the most annoying thing on the episode. Oh, she also said that in Will's silence.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's nothing new, so
That's everyone's favorite feature of the podcast.
get used to that one, Rachel.
Also, just a little bit, she loves the fact that we have a member of our Joeys who we cannot name because they really want to be named, and she thinks that's the funniest thing ever. So I think we should just sprinkle it in occasionally, just a bit more regularly about the person that we shouldn't name.
Is she off to the side of you now, Ben?
Yeah, because she's working from home today, so she's hearing me talking about her, and she's adding some things that she wants me to say. What did you say? She said we love that Joey, but we just can't use their name.
Yes, it's true.
Like Voldemort, a really important part of the Harry Potter stories, but just
she wouldn't know about that. That Joey would have no idea what you're talking about right now. But hey, it's exciting because this week we got a first ever guest on the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, besides Rachel just then.
Yeah,
we couldn't really hear her, so that doesn't count.
True.
But hey,
in live person guest right here with me today, actually a long-term listener of the podcast. Now, because I won last week, I run our Roodefined segment last week. I get to, what is that, Jimmy?
The gavel broken.
Silenced him forever. Because I won Roodefined last week, I get to ask the questions and have the definitions this week. But my wife is a nurse and she has some incredible words up her sleeve. So I would love to invite the wonderful Mercy Case.
woo! Roodefined!
And we're going to listen to the theme song.
Oh, serious. Are you going to do the Roodefined chant in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Okay, cool. So here we go. Roodefined. All the guys would say they're mighty right.
Mighty right.
Only got you somewhere half the time.
Half
And
the time.
Either got you laughed out or coming up short. And that's Roodefined. That's better. It's just the copyright issue that really gets in the way.
Quality content at a possible time.
I don't think copyright's an issue because that's so far from the original.
Yeah, but it's when I play the actual song that it gets me in the zone. But
welcome, Mercy. Great to have you.
Long time, first time guest.
Oh, nice.
Are you actually a long time listener?
I've listened since the beginning, guys.
This is so good.
Wow.
So awesome.
More
Well
so
done.
than some other partners that I know.
Shots fired.
My wife still hasn't listened to it when I haven't played it at her.
Yeah, okay.
I hear also more about the podcast as well than I do the actual podcast. So I should probably.
That's fair.
Are
Sophie
you
probably
sharing
hears.
secrets, Brad.
Oh, here we go. Will trying to get a lot of high about sharing secrets.
Well, I've listened since the beginning. That's not going to work on me.
Unlucky.
It's
So
so
good.
Brad and I together anyway, isn't it? So that doesn't surprise me that he would share.
So I have some medical definitions for you guys to try and discover. The medical world is like a whole other language. So
Perfect.
are we ready to go with our first one?
Ready to go.
Ready?
And I'm going to
Okay.
play too.
He has not seen these.
No.
Okay. He can't see them now.
Seems
though? Yeah, good,
suspicious. Seems suspicious, but we'll let it
If
pass.
Brad gets all 4 right, I'll be so mad.
If Brad wins again, I'll be so mad.
I'm not doing this again, so he won't win.
Okay, great.
All right, first one is Taketsubo.
Taketsubo.
And so these are all medical related.
Medical terms.
So it's not a
I don't
Japanese dish.
like-
Okay, great.
but
Sounds like a great name for one, though.
yeah, delicious. Taketsubo.
I reckon a taketsubo is the little clamps you've got to use when you've dislocated your knee to kind of put your kneecap back on.
This is actually going to really favour Brad because I reckon most of his guesses have been ailments of some type in the other Roodefineds as well.
Yeah, he genuinely goes, I think it's an ailment.
No, say the word one more time.
Taketsubo.
Taketsubo.
So Subo is the last one.
It's all one
S-U-B-O.
word. S-U-B-O is the last half. Yeah.
Taketsubo is closely related to an injury that sumo wrestlers get due to their obese nature.
Okay, right.
Mm.
I think it's like a unique heart arrhythmia. Yeah, so if you get it, you're like, oh no, you've been diagnosed with Taketsubo.
Ooh,
Okay.
Taket sounds familiar.
Okay.
Mm.
Will.
Taketsubo is the process of withdrawing a particular gene strand.
Oh, wow.
Yep, that's what we go with.
Oh, where I thought that was going to go.
I had no idea where it was going either, so that sounds
Right.
A
The
gene
very,
strand.
very clear winner is Ben.
good. Hey!
Ben, did you know this word?
No, I just went tacket and I thought of taco for like heart.
Tachycardia. Well, it is called the broken heart syndrome, and it is a temporary heart condition that develops in response to an emotional or physical experience.
Wow.
Oh, so you can actually have a legitimate broken heart.
Yeah, so it's actually, you can see it on an ECG. It's actually different and abnormal.
Does it look like
Whoa.
a heart on the ECG?
Yeah, that's literally.
Just to recap on that, Ben, did you say when you hear the word taco, you think of heart?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I think that there's something to do with like a procedure or something. I've heard it before.
Tachycardia is a
Yeah.
fast heart rate.
I got to, taco makes me think of Mexican every time.
It should be taco then.
It depends how you pronounce it.
Yeah, and
I
Jimmy Fred,
wouldn't put it past us.
That's true. All right, Ben, point to you. Next word
Mhm.
is obdomission.
Abdul mission.
Obdomission.
Can you spell that for us, Mercy?
Obdormission.
And can you use it in a sentence?
I reckon obdomission is where there's a valve between like your stomach and your intestine. When that gets blocked and you need to have it the blockage removed, that's an obdomission.
Hmm.
Very detailed.
Very detailed.
It's almost like he's had one before.
I don't know. My initial thought went around the like orbital bones. So like it might be like an emission coming out from like your eyes or something like that.
Oh, gross.
I don't like this one as much. These sound revolting.
It's actually not like gross.
Ill.
Okay.
I think obdomission is when your hair falls out.
Okay.
So
That's why she said Brad had it before. Obdomission. I'm going to say it's something to do with your feet, and just there's a blockage to some to some areas of your feet. You've got an obdomission in your feet.
Okay. All right. What did you say, Will? Oh,
It's like an emission around your eyes.
And James, what did you say?
Your hair falls out of your body.
Right. Okay. Well, Ben actually gets another point because it's not your feet, but it is your arm, and it's the numb feeling that you wake to when you've slept on your arm wrong.
Oh,
So there's a blockage of blood flow to the arm.
yeah, great.
clear winner.
Yep.
There you go.
Oh,
on.
Ben. Smashing this.
Thank you.
Now.
All
There
right.
is hair on your arms.
Some more than others.
I'm appealing.
All right. Number 3. Oliguria.
Can you spell it for us?
Oliguria.
This has got to be some sort of fluid.
Yeah,
I
sounds
reckon
fluid.
oliguria is like that clear stuff that comes out of your head when you have a head injury. Like the clear liquid.
Like your brains.
Like the white of an egg.
Yeah. That's your brain's oliguria.
Oh.
I think oliguria is just it's a blockage in a pipe somewhere, maybe a vein or an esophagus.
Real general. Good.
I thought you were talking about plumbing.
Sorry, it's something to do with the feet.
Nailed it.
I'm going way too specific, aren't
Yeah, you're robbing yourself. I think an oliguria is like, it's like a sack of pus, some like inside the body that just sits there. So instead of it being like an abscess, it's just a different type of pus called, it's an oliguria abscess instead of just a general abscess.
Like a cyst.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for, not abscess, cyst. Thank you.
I'll go with oliguria is the name of the swelling fluid that like builds up when you've hurt yourself. It's like if your ankle swells up, the fluid that's run there, it's called oliguria.
Okay.
Oh, that's smart.
I don't know if I can give this to anyone.
Is that because we all said it was a fluid of some kind?
No, it is to do with fluid.
Come on.
But you're also wrong. So if you have oliguria, it means you are producing an abnormally small or absent amount of urine.
Oh.
Like there's a blockage somewhere stopping it from getting out.
Like a cyst might be in the way.
Yeah, that's probably the closest, Jimmy. You're probably the closest.
Come on.
Yeah, nice work, James. A
Good work,
blockage
Jimmy.
somewhere.
All right, 2 to Ben, 1 to Jimmy. Last one. Oh, I've got 2 here, and I'm trying to choose the best one.
We'll do this one, and if we have no clear loser, we
Okay.
might do the other one.
All right.
Yeah,
So
Clear loser. I forgot it was all about the loser. And not the
that's
winner.
right. There's no joy in the fact that I'm winning. It's just satisfaction that I'm not losing.
yeah, that's right. All right, so vasovagal.
Oh, I feel like I know that one.
Yeah, I feel like a couple
I
of you might
think
know.
I know this one.
You go last then.
Okay.
Do you want me to say it again?
Yeah, and can you spell it?
So VASOVAGAL, a vasovagal.
I got no idea what it is. I think a vasovagal is the technique used. So if you're in surgery and you cut someone open, it's a technique of opening them open.
Oh, dude, that's brutal.
That's
Nice.
specific.
I think vasovagal is like a type of instrument that goes in the veins.
Okay.
And it's like a vasovagal inquiry.
Okay. Oh.
Inquiry.
Hey.
Yeah, so it's like I'm doing a view just through some veins, just checking it out. Oh, sorry, that looked like the what's that Lady Gaga thing where they're like Illuminati confirmed or whatever.
Isn't that like?
Yeah, I saw it. No, don't do it, Messi. Don't do it.
So,
Monetized.
well, I was thinking it was something to do with veins as well, but more it's like the condition when your veins aren't visible and they're really difficult to find.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
the vasovagal.
nice.
Well, that
Very
sounds
annoying.
right.
Well, I actually think I know what this is because a friend of mine has something called vasovagal syncope, where I'm pretty sure it's your arteries expand too much, or there's too much or not enough blood flow through your arteries or veins or something. And then because of that, the syncope is they fall over and black out. There's too much of the oxygen or not enough of the oxygen through the arteries going through the veins.
Wow.
I think that's what it is.
Well, the explanation was terrible, but he is correct. It is
Yeah, well done, Brad.
basically fainting. So it's an automatic response mediated by the vagus nerve. When so if like you see blood and you faint, that's called a vasovagal.
Oh, I have a friend who literally does that.
Is the friend your wife?
Nah, Matt.
No, she's good.
My wife does faint sometimes though, yeah.
So yeah, that's a vasovagal. So
It sounds like a delicious treat.
Ben, you are the winner.
Yeah, well, actually, how we like to do it on here, Mercy, is Will, you are the loser.
Will's the loser. That's 2 out of 3.
Yeah. My mum, who's a nurse, will be so proud that I lost this one.
That's amazing.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks for coming, Merce.
Hey, Merce, you gotta give yourself a little plug though. Like, Mercy's someone who also is a bit of a podcaster. So, Merce, give our Joeys a little bit of a plug about what you do.
All right. I have got a podcast called The Bookplace that myself and my sister run. And we talk about all things books and reading. And it's just a lot of fun. We laugh a lot. And we are actually, the guest that you cannot name is going to be a guest on our podcast next week.
Okay.
If you want to know who that person is, come over to the Bookplace next week.
Hey, that's a great plug.
That is a very great plug.
Instagram as well?
Instagram is the Bookplace Pod.
Lovely.
Bookplace.pod. Yeah.
We'll try and put it in the show notes, both the link to the podcast and your Instagram account.
Right.
Also, Mercy.
We are struggling to get just our podcasts uploaded though, so we'll see how we go.
Well, Will's not on recording duty.
Not on recording duties this week, so it's okay.
Merce, just another quick trivia question. How many books did you read last year? This is like to just prove why you should listen to the Bookplace. How many books?
Sorry. Last year was 35, so not my greatest, but the year before was 60.
So you've read 95 books in the last 2 years. Great. That's why you should listen to the Bookplace. She knows what she's talking about.
I'm going to go. Bye.
All right,
great.
see you, Mercy.
See you, Merce.
Get some water.
Thanks,
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
First ever Joey on the
That was
podcast.
great.
That was awesome.
Such an experience. She's dying out in the hallway.
Yeah.
Is she all right?
I think she's got something stuck in her throat.
Classic. I was actually thinking it could be good. This is just a spur of the moment thing, not in our notes. To actually get the women. Yes, it's a sidebar. Get the women of the court on, because I think they'll be able to roast us in a completely different way.
Yeah. And we have to call it Ladies of the Court.
Yeah. But I think like having them on would be a very interesting dynamic in terms of, I just think it would be fun. Maybe we can do that.
I love it.
Great.
What up?
Good session.
Great work.
Awesome. Will.
Yeah. It's been a bit of a moment since we've had a welcome to Will, so I feel like it's time to have one again. So take it away.
Welcome to Will. Yes.
Yes.
That's probably our most musical theme song we have.
Mate, I just did a whole parody song.
Mate, there was no music.
Yeah. Still most musical.
Okay, good. I still win most lyrical, but Will, over to you.
Over to me. Well, I think there comes a point where people have realized that, like, I do things a little bit differently to the three of you. Like, the three of you have microphones and I don't. The three of you all wore hats last week and I didn't. And we're just a little bit, like I just am out here on my own. And
the island, I think you called
the island
last week.
Yeah, that's right. But in one of those areas, we're a little bit closer to being even. And that is that last night I got engaged.
Hey, William!
Dude, congratulations.
You cheeky.
Very, very
bugger.
cheeky.
For those who are listening, we asked literally before the recording of this podcast.
And he said no straight to our face.
You are a liar, Will.
But I'm so glad.
I wanted that reaction.
Congratulations, Will.
Mate, that's amazing.
You got to tell us what the story was.
Yeah, so I told Mel that we were going to go out for dinner after church with my life group. So it was just a normal Sunday. We watched church and then afterwards we went out for dinner. And I ended up, what I used as my cover story was like, restaurants can only have 20 people. So we decided as a group to book an Airbnb apartment so that we can all just go there. And it has a rooftop on it. And so we went there and we went up to the rooftop, and what was up there was a mini golf hole that I had spent all day Friday building.
Nice.
And so we played a bit of putt for a little while, and then we were enjoying the view before it started raining, and said some mushy things and got down on one knee and asked a question and got the desired response.
Yeah.
That's so good. Congratulations, Will.
Thanks, boys.
That's awesome,
So
mate.
good.
Well, welcome to the club. We've all got smoking jackets.
I wish. I'm texting Mel right now, live on the podcast.
There you go.
Can I?
Go for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's welcome to Will, and you are welcome.
Will is now engaged. That's the new thing you have to understand about Will.
That's
Come
correct.
on. Dude, that's so exciting. I have so many questions, but we'll save them for off the podcast.
That's totally fair.
Well, I got a question a bit more, if you're happy to share, around the
Go for
putt
it.
thing you made. What was that about?
So something that's become a bit of our thing that we do as a couple is we've played putt quite a bit. And actually one point we joked, like, wouldn't it be hilarious if the way I proposed was we went to a putt course and put the ring in a hole? Except then she was like, I had that same thought, so that's now off the table as an option.
Oh,
I was like, okay, I'll try and figure out a workaround. And so the workaround I came up with was I built my own putt hole out of plywood with some AstroTurf, and I made like a little obstacle, and I hid the ring inside the obstacle with the GoPro to record it all as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
So that's what the GoPro was for.
Smooth.
that's part of what the GoPro is for. It will come in handy for our podcast as well.
Yeah, it will.
And so that's how we did it.
Yeah,
You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see a reenactment done by Ben and Brad. Some week, just so you
okay.
could.
I thought you meant like now. I was like, that'd be really
No.
tricky.
Maybe tomorrow or something like that. We can reenact it just off what Will has told us right now.
Okay, sure. Done. Well, James, you bring your what is it? Your tripod.
My sneaky tripod.
Your vlogger tripod, and we'll do it. We'll do it tomorrow. That
Sounds good.
I like it. I do have one more question though, Will.
Go for it.
Who won?
I won the putt.
Yeah, nice work.
Good call.
Because that's the last time you're going to win anything.
We'll have to do. We're going to do a speech at the wedding, a 3-week podcast speech.
Yeah, will say nothing, and we'll just say all your stuff for you. How about that?
I really appreciate that.
Maybe we actually do an episode live at the reception. I don't know.
That would be hilarious.
Oh, poor Will.
I think I would love that. I think we'd have a tough time getting that idea past Mel, though.
Yeah, fair call.
That's fair enough. That's more than fair enough. Well, mate, congratulations.
Yeah,
That's so exciting.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
love it.
That's awesome. Hey, it makes me think about, how did you guys propose? The other guys in the room.
I proposed on my wife's birthday, so a little bit risky, but I just gave her it was a present that had like a bunch of layers with a bunch of different like memories. I can't remember what the memories were. It was like 7 years ago now, but it was really simple.
Nice.
Simple but effective.
Yeah, got the job done.
Yeah. What about you, Ben?
Well, Rachel and I proposed when we were living interstate. So I just FaceTimed her and said, yo, you want to get married? And then, no, not really. I flew down to Victoria to go and see her, and then had booked us flights actually back up to Brisbane because I wanted to propose up here because this is where we were going to get married and live. But she wasn't coming up for a while. So I flew down, and then the next morning we got up like super early, flew back up to Brisbane, did a whole day of adventures. And then I proposed up at Mount Cootha just because it was the whole symbology being like, this is the city that we're going to get married in. So like, let's get, well, hopefully she says yes here. And she did. So yeah, that's how I got engaged. What about you, Brad?
Very cool. I organised an amazing race on our engagement day, actually. So
Nice.
Yeah.
I had little envelopes, little clues and roadblocks and detours in it. So we did a whole bunch of stuff during the day that took us to different places that we'd been on dates for the first a few times we've been out. So kind of worked through Disneyland, sorry. No, what's it called? Dreamworld, thank you. Before all the bad stuff happened there. We went to Dreamworld. We ended up at like the beach at the coast, and then we bought some camping chairs as part of a detour. That was one of the things that we had to do. And ended up back at my place because we started dating when I was building a house in Ipswich. Yeah. We had the best tie in Ipswich on the floor of the lounge room, or floor of the bedroom actually, when there was just the roof on but no walls yet. That was one of our first dates. So I recreated that and had a whole bunch of fairy lights set up in the room there, and I kind of
that's adorable.
Yeah, nice work.
Yeah,
smooth.
But making a putt thing, that's ace, Will.
Yeah,
that's a hole in one.
Oh, well done, James.
Good job. Well done, William.
This is for you, Will.
Yeah, nothing, James.
I wasn't hitting it.
Oh, because it's broken. Sure. I was like, oh, there we go. Nah, nothing again. So weird.
It hurts my hand.
So strange. Anyway, it is what it is.
Someone else try and make noise with their gavel.
Mine's a big hammer. I only hit it really lightly.
Oh, I heard Will's though.
Yeah, it's just yours, James.
What? Nothing?
Heard that.
Yeah, heard that.
And again.
Maybe I just need to do it with this side.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there we go. Maybe I'm too close to the microphone.
Yeah, probably. Yep, heard that. I'm glad we're problem solving this live for everyone.
Troubleshooting in the court.
Yeah, that's right. So good.
I love it. Awesome. So Ben and Will, you guys got up to some other stuff across the weekend.
Yeah, so somewhere between Will creating a putt and proposing to Mel, we also helped Mel and her housemate Sammy move house on Saturday. So we were doing all the heavy lifting and stuff like that. They moved into a great place. It's 3 stories. So it sounds like it's a mansion, but it's one of those houses. It's like a little bit narrow. And so they've got a lot of stairs, but the stairwells were really, really narrow. And I don't know what the deal is, and I think Will felt the same way. We were both quite frustrated and annoyed. And we kind of wanted to, I guess, create some reform amongst the building industry around the widths of staircases. I've had issues with this sort of stuff before when you're trying to move something like a mattress or a fridge or a washing machine, all these sort of things. And the size of the entry and the stairwell is different from place to place. So you get your fridge and it fits one place, you move to the next place and it's a nightmare. Mm-hmm. To put in perspective, one of our removalists literally had the whole of the fridge on their shoulder and like kind of head area to get it vertical up the stairwell at one point so that we could turn it to get around the narrowest and tightest corner I've ever seen. It was insane. They got there. They did an amazing job. But I don't know. There needs to be some legislation about like a set standard for the width of stairwells. It was crazy.
A removalist had a fridge on his shoulder.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like just one guy.
Yeah, well, the rest of us were also carrying it and turning it around, but basically he was taking most of the weight on him.
Must be a good removalist. Where are they from?
Yeah, they're great removalists from a place called Scotty's The Movers. So,
yeah.
I mean, it was very well worth it. But Will, what did you think? Because you and I were obviously both venting about it. Give us a bit of your perspective.
I think more my gripe is with like stairs that have turns in them. Like that's where the difficulty was. Like the fridge fit in the stairwell, and if it had have been a straight stairwell, we probably would have been okay. But it was trying to turn it in a narrow stairwell that proved to be an issue. So I think more my gripe is stairwell should just be straight. There should be no turns in stairwells.
Yeah, Brad, you got a turn in the stairwell in your house. What are your thoughts?
It's not terrible, except that we couldn't get the bed up for 8. Like it got stuck trying to wedge it up and get it around the corner. We got a king size bed, so
that
big
happened
bed
on Saturday as well.
We also had an issue with a bed because it had the fixed bed frame for the base, and so it wouldn't go around the turn either.
Yeah. So like our king size luckily has got 2 singles as the base, which you can kind of take up. But if we had a full king size base, no way would that have gone upstairs. We would have had to have our bedroom downstairs.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. That's ridiculous. The fact that you can move into a house, a brand new house, and if you don't have the right bed frame or the right size fridge or whatever, you can't get it in. What a joke.
Yeah. And we're not like the UK where they've got such tiny houses on small properties where all their bed sizes maximum are doubles because that's all they can fit in their doors.
Yeah.
And up the stairs. We're Australia. We've got tons of land. Give us the space. Big stairwells. Yeah, it's too easy.
Yeah, no, agreed. It was just something I'd never felt that level of frustration before. Because like the removalists, and were being clever, and some of the stuff they realized was going to be so hard to get up there, like little things like chairs, that they were throwing them up to each other on the veranda, like, you know, like put it at full length, the other person reached down and just did like a little just chuck up like that, they'd grab it, because it was easier. And it's like, well, that's stupid. What's the point of stairs if it's going to be more difficult than like literally throwing things up to the balcony?
I feel like this is almost a Roo rant.
Yeah.
It almost is, but it's not. If it had been my house with my possessions, I probably would have been angry enough for a Roo rant.
Yeah. Very cool.
But it wasn't, so I'm kind of like, it was just frustrating.
It made it more difficult than it needed to be by having narrow stairwells.
Totally. And I agree with you, Will. The turn is the killer.
Yeah.
So I think there should be a standard width, but also if you can get away with no turns,
If it was a 3-story house, how many turns are there?
just 2, but they were real narrow and really tight, like really
Yeah, but 2
tight.
is a lot. 2's more than 1.
Well done, James. It is more than 1.
It is.
You're nothing if not sharp. That's for sure.
That is.
But with there's only 1 turn, it means you can also kind of just put it straight up. But if there's 2 turns, like you can lift it up in the stairwell, but there's 2 turns where it's coming back over the top of you. You can't do that.
Yeah, it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was my
We did
gripe.
get there in the end. So
We did. But like you said, Will, it would have been a lot easier.
I think if stairs have turns, then they need to have like a platform in the middle. You know how they kind of have that flat platform for the curve?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
That should be the only staircase with a curve allowed.
Yeah. I'm just surprised.
How big's the platform got to be?
Like it's got to be like at least a few stairs wide flat. So it's not like the main problem is it just curves up and around. If you can curve and go flat, you're actually okay because you don't have to pivot.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Anyway, I don't know what it is, but I'm just surprised that we live in the 21st century and architects and building designers and all that sort of stuff haven't figured out a better way to do a stairwell.
Yeah.
I
would back any ruling on that.
Yeah.
Okay, we should rule to get rid of staircases altogether.
Boy, that could be fun.
Every building has to be 1 story only. I mean, it's less of a workout, that's for sure, James. So I'm on board.
What's the ruling, boys?
I liked your ruling, Will.
Yeah. No turns in stairs.
No turns, but with the one caveat that if there is going to be a turn, there needs to be a platform in it so that you can make the turn easily. I think that's key.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. I'd rule on that.
Yeah, good ruling, boys.
Love it.
Great, really good stuff.
Awesome.
Is that it?
Some
I
recommends.
think that's it for today.
Just before we get to our recommends, I have a little update for you.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Brad's Knits
keep going.
update. Oh, Brad.
Great.
That's great.
Getting along. Now, to be fair, after I showed you last week, I got the end so wrong that I've somehow got this little loop in it that I don't know how it got there. So it's kind of like, I don't know how it got there. But that was what happened in the podcast last week. So I had to actually knit the next few rows to get it right. And she's kind of gone a bit more. So this is both of our work, not just...
How much of that have you done? Is the loop yours and the rest of it's Mercy's?
No, I did a few rows, quite a few rows. I've done maybe about a third of this.
A third of it.
Well done.
And to be honest, that third I did in the time it took Merce to do the others like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So in terms of equity in Brad's knits, you might be married and what's yours is hers, but does she own 60% of Brad's knits and you own the other 30?
Look, if she
40?
wants that much ownership of it, she can go right ahead.
Fair enough.
No, that's great. That's really good.
Oh, I thought Mel had texted me back, but it's just my energy provider. Lame.
Oh, Worse.
But let's move on to our recommends, because I've got an awesome recommend that I would like to recommend to everybody this week. And if you remember back last season on the podcast, we talked about remote controlled lawnmowers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Automatic lawnmowers.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's not a lawnmower, but I bought an automatic vacuum cleaner.
Yes, you did.
And this thing, and this thing is next level.
That is amazing.
I can't recommend it enough. It vacuums so much better than I would have even imagined. It does better than me. It can't get into like some small spaces, but there's like 4 spaces in our house it can't get to. So I just set the vacuum to clean, and it vacuumed my whole house this morning, and I didn't have to do anything except like 2 seconds of work of getting some small spots.
Oh, shut up.
That is so good.
And it mapped my house. It's so smart. Like Google controls it.
Of course it does.
It's offline because I turned it off. So I can't.
Have you guys seen that episode of Parks and Recreation where
DJ Roomba?
Yeah, DJ Roomba. That's all I think of. I'm like, dude, you got to put some speakers on that thing and just get it going around the house with blasting tunes.
I've also seen this activity where you sticky tape balloons on your Roombas and then sticky tape scissors on the other ends of it, and they kind of go around the house, and the first one to lose their balloons on top of the Roomba loopers.
It's like, what was that Mario Kart game?
Yeah.
That's sweet. That's so good.
That is cool.
That's cool, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I'm living in a tech recommend this week as well. I got recently a new keyboard.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
It looks a bit fancy. I've always had those wireless ones because I'd like to be able to move it around. But this one can access 3 devices, so you don't have to kind of plug the dongle in and out. It just kind of goes between 3 different devices by the flick of the switch on your keyboard. And it's a little bit more expensive, but the typing on it is unbelievable. Like, I've only ever had the dodgy LG ones you get. This thing types like a dream. I will never go back to dodgy keyboards ever again. That's my recommend. Spend a bit more money on a better keyboard and mouse combo. It's all good.
Great.
All right. Really
So is it like a mechanical keyboard then? It's not like that weird chiplet sort of style?
It's not a mechanical one because I would like a mechanical one, but they're way expensive. So
They're really loud as well.
yeah. So this is quiet. It's got good key press, like how far it goes down. Key travel, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, I'm a keyboard entrepreneur.
Yeah,
That's the 3 little buttons that you can select.
I was looking at that keyboard, but I didn't get it.
I do have a quick question, Brad. In terms of the 3 different devices, could I use it on my iPad?
Yes, you can.
Yes, sweet. That's cool.
It's Bluetooth, so you just click it up to 3 different things. Boom, off you go.
What are the 3 that you've got it connected to?
Well, I only got it yesterday, so I've got my PC, this laptop, and I haven't plugged the 3rd one in yet, but I'll probably do it on a device where I can type away, like maybe my TV downstairs or something.
Oh, sweet.
For Rocket League, comebacks.
Oh, yes, boys. We need to do Rocket League. I've been practicing.
I've been practicing too this week.
I got an aerial goal this week, so...
Whoa. Okay, you're way better than me. I started practicing and the bot was beating me.
Oh.
Okay.
What level did you have it on? Rookie?
No. The one before when it's 2v1 when you verse the bots. Like unfair or something's 2v1.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
all-star.
Yeah. Oh, that's not too bad, though.
But now I can beat it 2v1. So I'm ready to start versing real people.
Yeah, good man. Good man.
Nice.
Awesome.
Will, do you want to go?
Well, my recommend is a nice simple one, and that is due to the experience Ben and I had over the weekend, and is that is when you want to move, get yourself some removalists. Yes, it costs a little bit more money, but they do all the real heavy lifting, and that allows you to spend a bit more time getting things unpacked. So instead of it taking forever to move, we had that move done by 4:00 in the afternoon, starting at 8:00, because they brought everything over and we were able to just empty the boxes as they moved everything else. So it's a very useful service. And if you are looking for a good one, Scotty's the Movers do a good job.
Yeah.
And, just for my housemate Colonel, we're going to shout out their Instagram page. So go like Scotty's the Movers on Instagram.
Yeah. I can actually back that up because they moved my house too when I moved recently, and they were great. So Do it. And I agree. Get a removalist so then you don't have a fridge sitting on the top of your shoulders and head. Someone else does it.
Great recommend.
Very good. My one is, I don't know, it might be a little bit personal, but I have this band that I listen to that are potentially my favorite band of all time, which is interesting because I'm a metalhead.
Is it Hanson?
Brad, it was meant to be a surprise. No, it's this band called This Will Destroy You. And I know it sounds very intense, but they are a completely instrumental band that are all like atmospheric. And the reason I want to recommend them to you is because they just put out a new album. And I hate doing all this sort of stuff, but the album is literally based on an experience of being at a restaurant. So all of their song titles like entrance, building, kitchen, dining room, rooftop. And so they're designed for this literal physical restaurant. And it's an experience of like going through the place. And it's so cool. You just listen to it in the background, but it just sounds amazing. And it's super good for focus music. Like I've been listening to it the last week or two and so productive because there's just
Is it music or is it ambience?
I don't know what the difference is, but it's actual music. I'll show you some after, Jimmy. But
okay, so it's not just someone walking through a restaurant with like a 360 microphone.
No, it's like actual music. It's like basically what it is these guys, they do their own music, but a guy contracted them to create the soundtrack for his restaurant. Right. And this is what it is. And it's perfect. Like it's genuinely the perfect music to have in the background because it was designed for you to have in the background. So it's amazing. Anyway, that's my recommend. Just check it out. Nice. This will destroy you. It's intense. It's not that intense as much as the name is very intense. It's very chill. So check it out. Love it. But also another recommend I would say is if you have a podcast, talk about the fact that you need more subscribers on YouTube because this week we got 5 more. So
look out.
Will's consistent, persistent.
Is that our cue? Is that my cue?
That's your segue, mate, all over.
Make sure you jump on YouTube and like the KangarooCourt or like the Kangaroo Podcast videos, subscribe to the channel, leave us some comments. We will respond to you. Send us through a message on Facebook if you're keen to appear on the show live. We had our first one, so we're going to tee up a time to get them on to join us live on the show. And like the Facebook page, share it with your friends, and that should be about all of them.
If you jump on Facebook on YouTube, you actually see how much darker it's got in my room since we started this podcast.
Same.
I think that goes all the way around.
Yeah.
I had to turn my light on just before.
It's crazy.
It is.
That's good. Also, but gaming. Boys, I need you to teach me how to game online because I don't know how to do it.
Sure, we can do that.
So
we'll make that
We need to do that. But also, we need to verse people.
Yeah, we do need to verse some people. Well, I think if we put some video up of our quality, it'll help people figure out whether they can come on and destroy us or not.
Well, maybe we need to get together and do it so people watch out for that video.
Totally. Let's swap gamer tags after this, guys.
Sick.
Great. I don't know what my gamer tag is, but let's do it.
We'll figure it out.
Awesome.
All right.
Over to you, Will.
Court adjourned.